Hello and good evening. Again, Tuesday evening. I say that every week just because I surprise myself that I make it here every week. Bar one, but everyone's allowed a little bit of a break. How are we all? Are we staying warm? I've got a few layers on tonight because it is a little bit chilly. A little bit of rain about here as well, which we don't mind. Just going to wait a minute until people start getting on board. Just checking out to see if it's coming up. How are you? Are you good? Hope you are. You got this far, right? Okay. Hello, Katie. It's freezing. Why is it freezing? Let me have a look. Oh, freezing as in the weather. Oh, give me a second. I do catch up. How wonderful. Okay. Yes, it's working. Fantastic. Well, actually, tonight I've got a couple more email questions here that I would like to answer. And thank you for those people that do email in at askravencooper@gmail.com.au. I love your questions. And it's not about really sending in, can I have a general card, please? As you all know, I will do that on the night. It's more about, do you have a question about crystals or something to do with anything metaphysical? Maybe you have a bit of a life dilemma that you'd like to share, or maybe you'd like some opinions on. Everyone's welcome to my opinion. I always have one. So, yeah, if you'd like to I might leave the email, if I remember, after the video in the description so that you can email me if you like. All right, so... Hello, Sharon. Good evening. Emily, hello. Emily, how many more days? I think it's about 2 weeks, not this Saturday, but next Saturday we'll be doing the workshop that I'm so looking forward to. This one's a heap of fun. So we're going to be doing crystals, auras, and dreams. We're looking at crystals, just 7 sort of major crystals. You'll take them home with you. And also some clear quartz crystals and a crystal grid, so you can start working with that. We're going to look at auras, how you feel them, how you see them, and also dreams and dream interpretations. That's coming up, let me have a look, July 23rd, 9 till 12 at Strathpine. All the details are on the Threefold Facebook page. Hey, James, hello. Mia, hello. Oh, it's good to see everybody now getting on board. Hey, James, hello. Maybe turn something down. Oh, it's good to see everybody now getting on board. Oh, hang on a second. Maybe turn something down. It's good to see everybody now getting on board. Oh, hang on a second. Can you hear me now normally? You know I'm just learning this technology. I've only been doing this for how long? Is that better? Hang on, let me try and fix this. Why is there an echo? Oh, hang on, I can do it here. Oh, that's better? I'm going to turn this one off. Look at me trying to get all technical. Sounds better? Yeah. I think I had 2 mics. There's one in the monitor and then there's this one. And this one's better because you can hear me better. But if both are going, aha, see? One day I'll get it right and I'll scare all of you. All right, so like I said, I've got some questions here that I'm going to answer first that I thought were quite interesting from the lovely Miss Charlotte. She sent me actually a lot of questions and I've kind of broken them up over the weeks, but some really good ones, and that's why I keep bringing them up. And of course, I've got my cards. I'm going to do some card readings. I did want to mention before we get into the questions here as well, I don't know how everyone else is feeling at the moment. I couldn't get a good sleep last night. Just a lot of thoughts, kind of processing a lot of things going through. And just, I think we're being tested a little bit. I think we're all sort of learning that, they say you've found some wisdom when you can say, it is what it is. And I'm finding as I'm in my 40s, that is what it is something that I'm saying quite often. So, yeah, I hope you're all doing well and okay, and don't forget to give yourself some mental health breaks and to recharge and to look after yourself, because it's really important that we physically look after ourselves at the moment with so many, the flu and COVID and everything going around. I think most people in Brisbane have a cough. But also not forgetting that, when we go through things, no matter how big or small they are, that we also need to recover spiritually and mentally from that. If we break our leg, we give ourselves 6 weeks to physically recover. I think we have to allow ourselves that time as well when we're going through things in life, and don't underestimate what they are, and be kind to yourself. Yeah, that's my little rant. Anyway, let's have a look at these questions. And if you have a question, yes, you're so excited. Oh, yeah, tell her to book in. It'll be fantastic. Okay, I think the echo is gone. Oh, good. So, and if you also do have a question tonight while I'm going through this at any point, just pop it up in the comments and I will try and get to it. Or maybe you'd like to add to some of these here. So the first part or paragraph here that I'm going to look at from Miss Charlotte was connecting with the universe. And obviously tonight, if you're watching this, you're someone who's open-minded and you're spiritual, and this is something that, that you enjoy or it intrigues you. So the first question was, how do you start communication between yourself and the universe? Well, it's interesting. We don't just start it like the lawnmower or turn it on. You've always been doing it. I think, and this is my opinion, but we've always had that connection. Okay, you were born connected to it. But if you're talking about more your intuition, how do you get in contact with, your intuition, or working with the universe, if that's what you work with, or your gods, if you have a religion. And I was actually thinking about this the other day in the car. If I had to describe to somebody how I see things, or how my intuition comes through when I'm doing a reading for somebody, how do I start? Like, how do I start that first step? And for me, it's literally, I've got to clear everything. It's almost like take all of my life and all of my emotions and all of my feelings and all of the practical world and everything that's going on in my head, and like sort of exhale and just let it go. And then just let whatever has to come in. And that's a really hard thing to do, especially if you're someone that is always living in that really practical thinking kind of world. To say to you, hey, just clear your mind. It's like saying to someone, just go and do meditation. That's not easy for everyone. Not everyone can just clear that mind. But I think, that's one of the first steps to looking at it. But how do you start communicating between yourself and the universe? Listening, I think. And that's not just because maybe you're hearing something. You may be seeing something, Actually, I'm going to add the next part of this question to this because it's going to help make a little bit more sense. It says, how do you start communication between yourself and the universe? What if you don't know what language, numbers, seeing feathers, etc. the universe speaks to you in? That's these are good questions, because I think sometimes that's the problem. I love numbers. You know that. You know how much I work with them. But I'll start to see them. I'm like, isn't it funny? Today I keep seeing 222, or I keep seeing 333, and that the numbers come in for me. But that wasn't always the case. It was almost something like I kind of went, you know what, universe? I've learned about these numbers. I've created this language with numbers, and then the universe could communicate with me about that, because you can see a number, but if it doesn't bring a meaning for you, and you might have different meanings for different numbers, especially if they're personal numbers, how that sort of comes through for me. What one person might see when they see 222 and what I might feel and believe when I see it is different. And also, if you're someone that loves to study and you look at angel numbers, you're Googling meanings, then you might find another meaning for that as well. But you've got to create kind of a language, a bit like feathers. People talk about feathers coming in from past loved ones, or from people around us, or messages from the universe. Okay, then what does a white feather mean to you? What does a black feather mean to you? What does a yellow feather mean to you? Or a rainbow one? What do they symbolize? Because once you work out what you're working with, whether it's the universe or spirit or higher self, or maybe you don't know who it is or what it is that you're working with yet, and that's okay too. I always just say the universe. That's my answer to almost anything like that. But starting to create that language where you can see the signs. It's a bit like learning, a set of cards. I know with the cards that I turn, that message can come through. So also realizing, you'll hear me talk a lot about, hey Zara, you'll hear me talk a lot about intuitive senses and what we have, and that you normally have one that stands out more than all of the others. And which one is that? And usually, I think too, and this is what happens, if you haven't done this kind of work before, and, you're talking to someone who, I love the movie The Craft. It's one of my favorite, and was great for me at that age, to introduce me to a lot of things, because of course, going back when I was that age, there wasn't internet, there wasn't all the resources that there are today. You couldn't go to the library and get a book on intuitive senses or psychic senses. They certainly weren't on the shelves. So, but I think influence from TV and what we see, you see these mediumship shows or these psychic shows, where it's different episodes. And when the psychic sees things, it's full on, it's like a movie and they're in it and it's really intense. It's actually not like that. For most people that I talk to that do this kind of work, and it can be different for everybody, it's more about a subtleness. You've got to kind of find that vibration, and then learn to work with it. So it's the same like if you're working with numbers. At first, you've got to figure out where it is, what it feels like, and then build that muscle up. But I think the universe can speak in so many ways. Some people it's color. But also, like, just back to those psychic senses, you might just find, like I said, it's going to be subtle in the beginning, but that you might hear something. It may be the voice in your head. We've all got one, but slightly higher. So hearing your higher self. It might be taste, it might be smell, it might be clairvoyance. You might see things. It could be clairsentience. You might feel things. You might be someone who's a medical medium. You feel the physical body. But normally when it first starts coming through, it is quite subtle, and you do have to build that muscle. Also, listening to how you say things can sometimes, you might say to a friend, oh, I just keep hearing, go for it. And that's how you give your message. And it kind of hints to you that you're hearing things, obviously, because that's the way you're saying, I just keep seeing people doing this, or I see them doing that. So listening to maybe sometimes how the words, how you say things, how you give the messages out, could maybe give you a hint. It's a real personal journey. It's really hard. I wish I could give everybody that answer and go, you're this, and this is what you're going to be great at, and you should totally focus on that. Which I can do. I can guide you towards it. But everyone's intuition is so unique. You've got to figure out your toolbox. You've got to figure out how it works. And it's not easy. It's a muscle if you haven't used before that you've got to build up. You might find sometimes it tires you out a little bit, or you need to step away from it because it becomes too much. Those of you that do readings would know, in the beginning, you can kind of do 1 or 2 readings a day and you kind of like, wow, that was full on, and then you work yourself up to where you can do more readings than that. Hi, Dee. So I hope that kind of answers the question. This is the kind of stuff that I can talk about for hours, and I love it. So that's what I said. Just keep bringing in your questions. Email me. Oh, and this next question here, when the universe speaks to you and you receive messages, what does it feel like? Like I said, for me, it's very much not my thought. What's a good example? Oh, in the morning, all right, love myself some peanut butter and banana on toast. And yes, you have to have butter with peanut butter. Okay, we're not even going to discuss that. But, I might be making that, and I'm making my toast, and I'm doing whatever, and I'm thinking about, whatever's going on in the world. And then all of a sudden, I may see something in my third eye, or, a thought comes in that has nothing to do with what I'm thinking about. It kind of comes in from somewhere else, obviously. And I know it's not my thought. I know that's something that's come to me sort of a bit more randomly. I will really pay attention to that. It doesn't feel like me when I receive things. When I read for someone, and for me, I look around people and I see what's around them. Everything on, the left being the heart, everything on the right being work, money, security. When I am reading for someone, when I'm in that place, and that's what it is, nothing else in the world exists. I can't hear buses going past. I know nothing about my world. It's not me. I am totally with that person, holding that space, reading that energy, giving out, the messages, telling them what I'm seeing coming, what's around them. But it's almost like when people talk about channeling, how it kind of you've just got to let it come in. Easier said than done. It takes practice and it takes time. And I am someone that struggles to meditate because I do have that, that mind that wants to keep going all the time, my Aries energy. But when I'm in that space, There's nothing else. It's quite interesting. But you will all find that. Am I making sense? Are we enjoying this? Do you have any questions? I will be turning cards shortly. I'm glad I fixed the echo. That was echo. All right, I'm going to move down to just these next couple of questions, and then I'm going to start turning cards. So the next little bit that Miss Charlotte mentioned in her email was daily practice. What would be an important daily practice for us to do for ourselves, like meditating, clearing and grounding, protecting our energy? If I had to choose out of those, what is the most important? Grounding and protecting. Like I've talked about before, if you're the empath, if you are spiritual, if you're someone that picks up on energies, if you're intuitive, which we all are, it's just in different ways, and whether we've worked those muscles. I think grounding your energy, being able to get in contact with the earth, to be able to have our spiritual connection, to be physically connected to our body is very, very important. Being able to be in the here and now, and we're doing a lot of spiritual work. Like I said, I can be very vacant from my own world. So I need to be able to go step back into that and be grounded and be in it, and protecting our energies. There's some fantastic ways. Yep, excellent. We got James. Wonderful. You're on the list, mate. So protecting your energies for me is the most important, because otherwise you're already exhausted before you even start. Okay, it's like walking out the door and just giving everybody your energy and then going, why don't I have anything else left for myself? Why can't I self-love? Why can't I follow my passions? Why can't I do the things that I need to do? And it's because we're kind of leaking out energy all day. I've talked about, how many apps are running in the back of your phone that's taking your phone charge, even though you're not using them. How many apps are running in the background, in your world and what you're doing. And then this last question here, is there something that you can do to help clear away negative energy, or just the energy that is sticking to us at the end of the day? Showers are fantastic. When you jump in the shower, that water coming down and working with that element, it's clearing our aura. Even visualizing, that water maybe being, white or yellow or gold, or pink, or kind of almost, showering yourself in that energy is fantastic. And just letting it all go down the drain. Just letting all of that negativity flow away. Visualizations, we can clear our energy as well. I love, and not everybody does, I love windy days. Blow the cobwebs away. We love those old sayings. Very similar thing. And I know we've got the echo winds coming up, so put your thermals on and get rugged up. But if you can go and stand out, especially in a hot summer's day, but if you've ever been at the end of Shorncliffe Pier and it is blowing a gale and you just kind of stand there, like Titanic, king of the world kind of style, and you just let that wind blow through your aura, let it blow it all away. There is just something about it. The elements, get the elements involved. Crystals are a great way. Citrine is great to keep in your pocket if you don't want to pick up other people's energy, because citrine is one of the only crystals that doesn't hold negativity. Okay, so that's a really good way for cleansing. And also, if you put your citrine with another crystal, it will also cleanse that as well. So using citrine, of course, if you're someone that likes to do smudging, or your sage stick, or your Palo Santo incense, maybe there's a ritual that you like to do. Like I said, visualizations. Find what works for you. One of the first things that I need to do is always get my shoes off, get in contact with the ground. Eating really good earthy foods too can be good for that as well. So when we think about our base chakra and our connection with the earth, what foods should we be eating? Anything that grows in the ground. So, your potatoes, your sweet potato, even peanuts, anything like that, because it's connected, it's growing in the earth, and then we're taking it in. And that's why when we eat those really earthy foods and we have that big kind of, dinner with potato and, gravy and all that kind of stuff, afterwards you're in a bit of a food coma. You're like, oh my God, my energies are stuck. They literally are. Because they're so grounding. So I hope that was helpful. But yes, making sure you're clearing your energy. We clear our crystals. We sage our homes. We clear energies, but we quite often forget to make sure that that's something that, especially if you work with humans, or you're out in crowds, you go to the Eka for the day or something like that. Fantastic times. But just like you would use hand sanitizer, or you would use things to keep your physical body protected, you also need to have a look at you energetically. How are you you're going to deal with that. If you're someone who is an empath, having a good routine for the day, making sure that you get, some time to sort of step away from the crowds for a minute, and then you can go back in again, having structure, because we know we can all get that little bit just hectic when we're in a lot of energy around us. Oh, look, I need to look at some messages here. Oh, yes, Tamika. Hello, good evening, Tamika. We will pop you down there. You certainly are, Zara. Yeah, the Echo winds. If you've lived in Brisbane, you know about it. Yeah, in your office environment. Actually, Emily, it's interesting. Oh, bugger. What you can do as well, you will see some crystal pyramids, look, obviously. And this is really good because we're centering the energy, all right? Quite often if you see the wands where they have the points on the end, we can give or take out energy. But also in your office, so smoky quartz would be very good between you and your computer for electromagnetic fog. So what the energies that the computer screens and computers give off, being able to combat that a little bit, because it does affect us. Same as we really shouldn't probably sleep with our phones beside our beds, but anything like a pyramid crystal shape would be good. Citrine, get some citrine on your desk. Amethyst to keep you nice and calm and patient and feeling good about things. Rose quartz, because it's better than we throw love on it, right? Hematite, and you'll have those from the chakra workshop. Fantastic for that grounding as well. Selenite is a little bit underestimated. The one that kind of looks like. This is selenite, but quite often when you see it, it looks like an iceberg, but selenite as well. Selenite's very nurturing. It's good for self-love. New mothers, it's a lovely gift if you know someone who's just had a baby. It's good for new mums, but selenite is very protective, and it's not a very expensive crystal. If you picked up 4 pieces of this tumbled, probably cost you, $10, $15, but you could put a grid around your home with those 4 crystals, and that's going to help protect it. It's an angelic energy. It's quite a soft vibration, but don't underestimate it for that. But selenite is very good. Now I don't know where that came from. There. Yes, I got layers on tonight. Got my Sea Shepherd jumper on. Let me have a look. Okay, my house more than my workplace. You got some suckers in your workplace. Citrine noted. Yes, citrine's great. Oh, yeah, citrine. And remembering the citrine too for the solar plexus. So for gut instinct, intuition, listening to our self-confidence, sort of, it's kind of where the ego can come from. But we need to have a good, healthy ego, I think. Not too big, but one that helps us set standards on how other people are going to treat us. But fantastic for courage, for confidence. If you had to go for a job interview, solite or lapis and citrine, to help bring that courage in, especially if you have digestive issues as well, or problems with the stomach. Citrine is very good for that, and it's also good for money. Pop it in your purse or in the furthest left-hand corner from where you enter your home. It is good to stop money just coming in one hand and out the other. You'll see a lot of places have a piece of citrine in their register or in their cash tin or whatever, to bring in abundance. You're very welcome. Well, I've enjoyed these questions. Like I've said before, if you have questions like this or you want to know how to do something, what do you all think about? What do you think about one night soon? I talk about the paranormal. Do you want to talk about ghosts? I think that would be super fun. So maybe you could email me in if you have maybe a story of when you have encountered the paranormal. Maybe if you have a picture, because if you don't mind, I can pop them up on the screen because I'm getting better with technology. You just won't be able to hear me like last week. But I wanted to talk about maybe spirit, as in spirit paranormal, not spirit mediumship. I think that would be great because a lot of us, whether it's we talk about what residual energy is, what I call sort of live energy, interactions, how it works. So I think maybe next week, do you reckon that might be a subject? I reckon that might be a subject. And that's another thing too. If you have a subject that you would like me to cover or talk about, it's really easy. AskRavenCooper@gmail.com. Or you can message me through the Threefold Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, you can message me through there as well, or Twitch or whatever. Get in contact, and I'm more than happy to share those with everybody. But I think maybe we should check that out. That might be my thing next week. Do you have a ghost? That'd be fun. And of course, things that you can do about that and how you should feel about it. All right, so let's have a look at the cards. So first we have James is coming up. Yes, paranormal. I know, Tamika, how much fun. I think it would be great. I've been on quite a few paranormal activities. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. You have ghosts. Oh, Delia, you'll have to give us some of your stories. Yes, Sharon, you are on the list too. Like I said, I've been on a few. I love being scared. I know that sounds crazy, but I love the adrenaline. I love being in that moment where it's pitch black and things are moving and things are going on. For me, it's just like got to get your head around it, you know. But I love it. So it would be a subject I'd love to do. Yeah, let's do that next week. You probably won't see me post it till Tuesday because I never remember till Tuesday that I've got to put it up. I might try and post it earlier. But if you do, like I said, have a photo that you'd like to send in that we could share. And again, it's not talking about mediumship. I actually want to talk about some ghosts and paranormal stuff. We can even talk about message boards or Ouija boards. We can see one over here. It's funny. It's a Ouija board. Put angel wings on it. It's an angel board. So, you know, let's talk about that. But absolutely. Okay, so sorry. Got a bit distracted. We're looking at James first. Yes, Katie, you are on the list. Yeah. All right, let's have a look. Okay. What did I say? James. Hope things are going well, James. I do. Let's have a look. All right. James, I'm going to go up here for you today. Good card. We don't mind this. I'm going to turn one card today, but I'm going to really go into the meaning of it because I think it's one or three cards. So we're still going to get really good messages. But this one here, okay, I'm going to use the camera this way today. Material harvest, okay, red. So a lot around you at the moment has been about homework, money, security. Getting the foundation sorted out, getting money sorted out, trying to maybe catch up on a few things or get ahead. Maybe there's that new job there or some work coming in. But now that this money, or we may even with this card be selling something, there could be some money owed to you that could be coming your way. Sometimes this can be inheritance. Sometimes this can be, I don't like to bet on lotto wins, only because 24 million other Australians are hoping for it as well. But some more money coming in here. And he's having a look at this money and what he's got. And he's going, okay, I've got a bit of money. Where do I want to invest it? Where do I want to plant the next lot of seeds? Because he's harvested. Okay, so that might be, you might have, we've all got our bills and our home things that we need to do and our responsibilities, but you going, you know what, I'm going to invest in that deck of cards because if I get back in touch with my intuition and I start working with that, that's an investment that's going to help, move me forward as well. So this does say here that hopefully a little bit better on the money front, on the work front and the security, and being able now to decide, okay, now what would I like to do? As for sometimes for a little while we're just paying the bills. Now you might have a little bit of extra there to think about where you would like to plant it. So a good card. Who have we got next? Right, I've got my list written here. Tamika. All right, let's have a look. Oh, here. Oh, we'll take this one, Tamika. Now, rest and rejuvenate. I know it's a bit back to front because I can't figure out how to do this, but rest and rejuvenate. And this is saying to you here now, Tamika, I'm not going to tell you to go out to the forest and do meditation. Unless that's what you would love to do, then please go out and do that. But what this card is saying to you here is rest. Yes, that's important. We all need it. But rejuvenate. What do you do that you love? How do we rejuvenate your batteries? How do we get you excited about life or just feeling good again? And I know I always use myself as an example. You're very welcome, James. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Angel. But it's always going here. What do you do that you love? So on the weekends, I'll go out. I love going out, thrift shopping, spending time with the people that I love, getting out in the world, doing everything but reading and intuitive, because that rejuvenates me. They're the things I love to do. So when I come back in, to the office Monday morning and I'm doing my readings, I love being here as well. Now, normally when I see this card, we've not only been through something that we need to now rejuvenate and we need now to look after ourselves, but also there could be something coming. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, okay? But rejuvenate. What is it that just puts the fire back in your belly or recharges your batteries? Maybe it's 12 hours a night Netflix, and 1.5 kilos of chocolate, if that's what puts you, feeling good again and rejuvenate, that's the word I really want to highlight here. But a lovely card. It's blue though, so speak your truth. You probably deserve this break. You're allowed to say, hey, everybody, you know what? It's been a bit of a hard time, and I'm just going to take some time for me, and I'm going to rejuvenate so I can come back, and get back into it. But a good card. This is an excuse to book a holiday or a massage or a new Netflix series. Okay, let's have a look. Zara, let's check this out. Whew. What are we in? July. Wow. Is it the 7th month? It is flying past. But I don't know, that's just because I'm, getting older now. Oh, that one wants to jump out. I might take that one. I was going to spread them out, but I don't often lose a card because I shuffle a lot. So when one does want to come out, I'm going to take it. So, Zara, this card here, now, don't panic. Give me a minute, okay? This one here, rest and rejuvenate. This says here, all right. At the moment, you're sitting on top of your mountain here. Okay, it's blue for the throat chakra. So we got to kind of speak our truth. And that can be very hard to do. Again, it's not that we're lying, but what do we really want? Okay, or what do we really want to say? What do we really want to achieve? I speak. What am I putting out there? But she's sitting on her mountain. She's conquered this mountain, and she's just looking out at the view. And she's got a good opportunity to go and discover one of these mountains. And she has to choose which one she would like to go to. But the problem is suffering in silence. She can't tell anybody about it. Okay, so what this is saying here, you're very welcome, Tamika. What this is saying here is, you can't really say you're working in one place, right? And this job's been secure and looked after you. But now you got another job offer coming in. But you can't tell anybody about it, because if you do, you're kind of stabbing yourself in the foot because the job's not in the bag yet. You know what I mean? This is what this is about. It's like this decision that you've got to make. It could be a home, it could be a relationship, it could be two people, it could be lots of things. But at the moment they're saying, you're just looking at it. Okay, you're going to make a decision because we've got this 9. We're going to complete it. But I got to be a bit secret squirrel. I got to kind of keep it to myself. And of course, we've got a tiger year this year as well. Very similar kind of energy. The tiger kind of hunts stealth. You don't know there's a tiger until it jumps out and bites you. So decision to be made. Just going to have to sit here on it. Yeah, no worries, Dee. We can pop you on the list. But just going to have to keep it to self until you've made the decision, okay? But not a bad card, remember that. It's good that we've got choice, but it will wrap something up. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, Sharon. Are you warm, Sharon? I know where you are. I hope you're warm. Oh, I'm going to be doing something very interesting in a few weeks' time, but I'm only going to be doing it on my YouTube. It's different to this Tuesday night that we do. But if you'd like to enjoy it, do jump on. It's just Raven Cooper 333, and if you subscribe and follow, then you'll see it come up. But I'm going to be doing something that I think a lot of you might like to see. And that's all I have to say about that. That's my turn to secret squirrel it. Okay, Sharon, let's have a look. That one I'm not even going to entertain. Okay. Oh, Sharon. Very cool tomorrow, and a full moon again too. You got the fire on, Sharon. I'd love a fireplace. I think it would be amazing. But that's, my Aries element. Cool tomorrow. Oh, we're getting used to it now. Okay, Sharon. Oh, good card. The Wisdom card. If you know the tarot deck, you might know this one. It's a little bit like the Fool card. Here we are. Sharon, you'll understand this. The Wisdom. He's about to go on a new journey. Okay, he's gonna go forward. He's gonna move forward towards the light. But the problem is, he keeps looking back at family, and he's worried about commitment, or leaving the family behind. Can I go on this new journey? But he's stuck between those two places. This card tells me that you had the knowledge and the wisdom to do it. Okay, look at this little dog gonna go. But there may be a little bit of guilt or a little bit of pull with family, and you being a bit stuck on going on this new journey. and moving forward and leaving that security, leaving what we might know, you know, that familiar, and moving forward. But you're about to go on a new journey. It's just the moment, just hesitating that little bit, but bit like, you know, jump and trust that the net will appear. Sometimes we just have to do that, and that's this card. So I like this, just this little bit of, oh, is everyone going to be okay? Am I doing the right thing? But still a good card. All right, let's have a look. Kate, I do love your little birds in the morning. I have some crows that come down and have a pair. They have a nest in the tree, of course, behind my house, that come down and have a little chat in the morning. So I do love seeing those, Katie, for those posts. All right, let's have a look. What's this going to be? May it work in your favor, Katie. All right, I'm going to go this one. Oh, now you know you got good with this. This is the intuition card here, Katie. You need to use your intuition. We've already, you know, you mentioned the other week about how you've been doing some readings and trusting your gut instinct and trusting your intuition, which is different to our gut instinct. Our gut instinct is quite often keeping us safe. You know, it's the one that wants to activate fight or flight, you know, or rest and digest. It's that one that's kind of that radar. Our intuition is when we can be getting messages through and things going through. But trust your intuition with what's going on around you in your world right now. We could be very much here closing the door to things, moving forward, but you are very protected. We had that Egyptian ankh there. But right now, it may be written on paper, but trust your gut instinct with what it is that you want to do, or your intuition, should I say. Katie, you know you've got good intuition. You have been working that muscle for years. It's about trusting it now and moving forward. But I tell you what, these cards are jumping today. There's a triumph and success. That's breaking new ground. So, Katie, this might be something that you haven't done before, or something that you just have a breakthrough with. But a good card. I like that. Emily. Oh, good to see you happy, Sharon. Exciting. It is exciting. It is. Where are we up to? What did I just say? Emily. Let's have a look. Oop. Let's have a look for a card for Emily. All right, I'm going to go all the way up the top here. Okay. Love it. This is my triumph card. Here he is. So this just tells me here, you have been a bit of a one human army. You've been getting yourself where you need to be. You're the one doing all the hard work. You're the one that's bringing the triumph in. You've been to battle, you know, and sometimes there are our own battles and the things that we need to move through. But it's saying here, you're going to come through the battle and it's going to be triumph. You've got your flag there. You know, you're coming out of it. But also, we do have to remember sometimes to get off the horse. You know, I'm sure Braveheart at the end of the day went home and had some dinner. This is about going, got to get off the horse, because not everything has to be a battle. Or sometimes, is it a battle or an adventure? And I think too, when we've been going through so much the last few years, you know, we all had to face these different battles, and they were battles. So now when something big comes along and it's taking our energy and our attention, we tend to go, oh, it's a battle. And it's like, actually, no. This is a challenge. This is an adventure. And for you, I think here, absolutely, you're going to do amazing. You're going to come out the other side on your horse, triumphant. So keep the good work up. You're doing amazing. But you've done this. Be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Self-made. You got this far. This is you. You. Celebrate that. Love it. Love it. Miss Delia. Let's have a look. Yes, of course. Nissa, you can have a card. Oh, gee, the cards are jumping tonight. Ooh. Dee, I'm going to take these two because they jumped out, even though I don't tend to do that. They're too strong for me not to take them. So, Dee, I come with a little bit of a warning here. First one, trapped in fear. Okay, so good card in as much as blue. So all truth about this, you know, speaking your truth, being honest about how you feel. But the universe is like shining in. It's shining in the window and it's going, come on out, come on. We got this opportunity for you. Come on out, come on out. And you're kind of going, oh, I'm just going to close the window and I'll have a little bit of a think about it. He is wearing his heart on his sleeve. So this trapped in fear, obviously, you know, fear is the things that haven't happened yet. We're quite often fearful of the what ifs. even though, we need to look at the what is now, what do we have, but the universe definitely shining in a little bit of fear there. Usually when it's an important thing to us or a big decision, we can be wearing that heart on our sleeve. However, this is the card where I went, I can't ignore this one. When I put these two together, see how they're both blue? So this card here is deception and envy. You may have to watch the people around you a little bit. All you have to do is speak your truth. You're fine, just keep doing what you're doing. But they're going to lift their mask and show you their true selves or show you what's underneath it. Normally, we're not surprised. You're kind of like, I thought that person was always a little bit like that. But you see here, it's about going, I want to move forward, but at the same time, may struggle a little bit with just people around you being envious, maybe being a little deceitful of where you're going, and that you have this opportunity because you've worked hard. But you do tend to take it just a little bit personally because I guess it's a bit of a dig. Why can't people just be happy for us when we're moving forward? So yes, this procrastinating, this thinking, this I'm not quite ready yet to make that decision, that's okay. We're allowed to have those feelings. But just be warned about some of the people around you that may be just that little bit of envy, people wanting to talk a little bit of smack, ignore it. You just be true to who you are. Both of these cards blue, throat chakra, be true to who you are. So I hope that made sense and is helpful. Miss Morgan, let's have a look. Let's turn you a card. Hope you're well as well. It's a good name to see pop up. I haven't seen you in a while. All right, let's have a look. No, you bring me back down here. I'm gonna take this one and have a look. You probably won't thank me later, but that's okay. This one here is the Devil card. This is the temptation card for me. This is all about right now. You're right sort of in a situation where you can either make the change and move forward, or the temptation to go back to old ways, to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. It's almost like the devil on your shoulder. What's stopping you right now? Is there some fear there? Is there anxiety? Is there the temptation to go back to old ways or an old habit or a person? And it's almost like be careful there because you may be dancing with the devil. It's a bit like if when people have to deal with a narcissist, that the only way you're going to deal with it is to turn around and never look back. Don't go dance with that devil. And it's a bit like this too. It's like, so, if you have done something where you've been really trying to move forward, and we all have those moments of weakness or those moments of, we don't maybe make the best decisions because, we have triggers or we have emotional things going on. But just be careful at the moment, right? That temptation to go back to old ways is giving you a little bit of a hard time, but I reckon you will do all right. We're usually quite aware. I'm just like everybody else, I have my demons that I have to battle, and most of you already know what they are because I share most of my stuff, but I face those every day as well, and I think sometimes it's hard work, it's exhausting, but if we can keep moving forward, if we don't go back, then you beat them and you win, and that's a great thing. But be kind to yourself right now. You might be judging yourself a little bit harsh right now as well. Be good to you. All right. Cat. Oh, we are not. I'm going to just get my act together with shuffling these cards. Cat, let's have a look. Not going backwards. That's it. That's what I want to hear. You know what? It's just forward thinking. We ain't got time. No, nobody got time for that. I don't know about you, but I'm getting, these are our prime years. We ain't got time to be wasting time on stuff, and that's what I talked about earlier at the beginning when I said we start to get to a point where you're like, it is what it is, and we're just going to move on. Because we just can't carry it. It gets too much. And be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself. No going backwards. Yeah. She remembered who she was and the game changed. You go, girl. All right, let's have a look. Cat. K-A-T-T. Let's have a look. Here is your card. If you would like a card tonight, please just pop it up in the comments. Happy to turn a couple more. Doing all right with time tonight, actually. All right, Kat, this is my solar plexus card. So right now, this tells me it's going to start coming into balance. There's something new coming into your world, maybe a job, maybe a home, maybe a relationship. But it's saying to you here, it's going to take courage. It's going to take confidence. You got to back this. Trust that instinct, like I've talked about earlier, about moving forward. This might be a business idea. It may be taking on a new project or a new hobby or something, and it's like it's going to take a bit of courage, but you've got it. Also, if you've had issues with the digestive system, hopefully those coming into balance a little bit better here too. But going back to trusting, that gut and that confidence. Sometimes we have to fake it till we make it, but with this card I'm like, it's coming back. You're going to start feeling good again, and ready to take on this challenge. This is a bit like the sun. Sometimes you got to shine. You got to shine your light, and believe in yourself and have that courage and that confidence to move forward. So with this card, it says it's going to come in, so work with it, and again, be proud of yourself. That's a good card. It just tells me that, you got a few things around you right now where you got to dig in and you got to get it done. You got to back yourself. But I like that. 3, too, the number of creation. So new things coming in. I like it. Emily, you certainly can have a card. Oh, did I get that right? Yes, I did. Oh, now I've got them upside down and back to front. A bit like my life. All right, let's have a look. Emily, let's turn your card. We're doing well tonight, guys. We are doing well. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions that you want to put through, we are going to I said next week we're going to talk ghosts, paranormal, how much fun. So if you have questions about that or anything, you can send it to askravencooper@gmail.com, or send it to me through the Facebook at Threefold, or Raven Cooper. It's up to you. But we're going to chat about that. Emily, I'm determined not to take these. Here I am earlier saying, you should listen to the universe and take how it wants to show you things. My Aries like, nah, man, I'll tell you what to do. Right, Emily, we're taking these 2 cards that have just been consistently falling out, and having a look at them. So, lot going on in the head at the moment, Emily. A lot of mental conflict going on, maybe some overthinking. Might want to tell yourself to kind of shut up a little bit because you're in 2 minds, decisions to be made. What do I want? Who do I want? Where do I want to go? What work do I want to do? It could be any of those things, but just a lot of overthinking right now. Mental conflict in 2 minds. Geminis feel this a lot. Because they're the twins, both of them, that, quite often they can be in those 2 minds. So feeling that a little bit at the moment, but what they're asking you to do, this crown chakra, it's kind of like, what's going to make you feel good? What's going to make you feel whole? What's going to sort of sit right with you morally? And also with this, you're amazing, and you've worked incredibly hard on yourself, and you've gotten yourself to a really wonderful place. Is this going to take that away? Is this decision, we want to make that decision based on what is going to be good for me, what is going to be good for my soul, for my spirit, for my physical self. It's a bit like me telling you, I want you to be self-full with this decision, not selfish, self-full, but a lot going on. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's some overthinking, maybe some trouble sleeping. Sometimes if we can write it down, sometimes as simple as a pros and cons list, kind of put it down and be like, it'll be there when I get back. But some decisions here, but do I think you'll get this very right? Yes, but do what feels good for you and is going to make the whole picture feel good. But good cards, I like that. Thank you very much. You tell him he can come again? No. That's because we look alike, Dee. All right. Would anybody else like a card? You're very welcome, Emily. Or do you have a question? I will while I've got a second. Don't forget, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 23rd of July, I have my crystals, auras and dreams workshop. We're going to look at 7 major crystals you're going to take home with you and some clear quartz to be able to set up a crystal grid at your home. We're going to have a look at auras. We're going to actually get up and look at them. We're going to feel them. We're going to see how we can work with them, how we can look at the colors of auras, and also dreams, dream interpretation. We'll touch on some astral travel and some projection. But that workshop is the 23rd of July, 9 till 12, $85. It's just here at Strathpine, at Elf Shore Community Centre. It's the cutest little place that I found. It's amazing. And I'm going to be running a lot more workshops there too. And before I forget, yes, I am doing a little plug here before I turn a couple more cards and a general card for everybody for the week. I'm also offering my workshops. If you have yourself and 4 friends, so minimum of 5 people, I will come out to your home and teach any of my workshops. So chakras, intuitive development, the crystal, Aura's dream ones that I'm talking about. There's a couple of more workshops that I'm going to be putting on offer. So if you can't make the dates that I put up, but you've got some friends that you'd like to have around, maybe they'd like to bring a plate, I'm happy to come out and teach those 3-hour workshops privately at your work, at your home. So it's always going to be $85 and you get the same thing. It's exactly the same workshop. But not everyone can make the dates, and sometimes you've got your friends that you want to get together and be able to do these workshops. So again, you can contact me through askravenscooper@gmail.com. You can email me, and you can contact me through the Threefold Facebook page. But this is something I'm definitely offering, so I look forward to. I love it. I love talking. Obviously, I love teaching my workshops. I love teaching people to be able to do what I do or get in touch with their intuition. I just want you to feel better than you did when you walked in with the workshops as well. So I always hope to achieve that. So I haven't got anyone else that has come up asking for a card. So we may even wrap it up a little bit early tonight because it's a little chilly. And I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Need some food. So I'm going to turn a general card for everybody for the week. Hopefully it's going to be a good week. This is change around at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of people at the beginning of the year that kind of went, you know what, I'm going to give this manifestation a shot. I'm going to get that vision board, or I'm going to get that list. I'm going to start working towards things and made that little bit of sacrifice, whether it be time or effort. It's starting to pay off. I'm starting to see people seeing this manifestation coming about. And if you want to see what I've manifested, you will have to check out my YouTube. It's going to be all over that over the next couple of months. And I'm looking forward to showing you all that, because I do very much try to practice what I preach when it comes to, manifestation, law of attraction, crystals, whatever. But yeah, let me pop these out. And of course, as always, I'm still doing my readings. You can come and have a reading face-to-face at my home office, or I do my readings online as well. I can travel to you, but of course there's some travel expenses there because petrol's so expensive. All right, a general card for everyone. Let's go down here. Oh, thanks again to James for reminding us about the moon. So you would love a card. Because you have jumped in right at this moment, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to do Zoe's card first, and then I'm going to do the card for the week, and then I'm going to wrap it up. But let's have a look. Oh, I do need some tips on what I could watch, because I've finished watching Bridgerton and I really need a new TV series to watch, please. Please and thank you. All right, let's have a look, Zoe. Let's get you a card. Oh, I'm going to go down this one. Oh, you better get your seatbelt on. Accelerated motion, Zoe. Everything's going to happen really quickly. Things are going to turn around. You're going to feel like you're on the outside looking in. I have one card that controls time, and here it is. It's purple, though, so you may have seen this coming. This could have been a bit of a slow boil, but then all of a sudden, it's happening, and it's happening quick. It can be a bit surreal. She almost feels like she's on the outside looking in at her life, so almost pinching yourself sometimes, like, is this my world? Is this what's going on around me? Great card, Zoe. Things going to happen fast. Gonna be quick. But I like that. So everything that maybe you've been waiting for, or things that may have been paused or felt like it was kind of never going to get here, I'm like, all of a sudden, all this change coming in, and very, very quickly. But I love that. That's a good card. Like I said, I only got that one card there that I look at as controlling time, and that's it. I go, no, double speed. Things going to happen quick. As I'm the Aries, so I love the idea of anything quick, fast. Especially my car. Let's have a look. All right, so a card for the week. Here. Oh, we'll definitely take this one. One of the best cards for the night, actually, but let's take it for the week. The light card. Look at her. We love her. She's like, oh my God, we have got to the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so what this card is about, and this is for everybody, quite often we're in the tunnel, we're working towards something, and then we get to the light, we achieve it, and instead of stopping and just enjoying it, we're like, boom, we're back on top of it again. It's like, right, now the next list. What's the next thing that I've got to do? So this week, how about we take some time, the sun, to enjoy good Oh, good evening, Maureen. Thanks for joining us. This one here is, even with this winter weather that we're having here, at the moment, getting out just for 5 minutes in the sun, taking in those rays, enjoying that energy, but also the little achievements. Sometimes if I can drink a hot cup of tea some days because I actually got to it and I got to drink it, or a hot cup of coffee and I got to enjoy it, man, I'm going to sit in that light for that 10 minutes and I'm going to enjoy that cup of tea or that cup of coffee. I'll be like, oh, this is heaven. So it doesn't have to necessarily be big things happening this week, but when you can capture some light, when you can have something good in your world, no matter how small it is, I want you to take a moment to enjoy it. Just a moment and be like, thank you. Nothing else may have worked the entire day, but thank you for that. So this is a week to step into the light, enjoy it, take some time. But a good card. I love it. What a great way to wrap this up. A week of enjoying the light, no matter how small it may be or how big it may be. But it's all about just stepping into it and going, hey, that was a bit crap, but that's awesome. Or how wonderful is it that I can just sit here and watch sunset for 5 minutes, or that we've got a roof over our head and food in the fridge, and, or if you're lucky enough to have your health or things like that. It's just like, just for a little bit this week, sit in the light. I love it. Well, I think I've covered everything tonight. Get in contact with me. Send me your messages if you have things about, because next week we're going to do paranormal. Do you have a ghost? So if you have a ghost story, I would love that. So send those in for me. Even if you just have a photo, you're like, can't explain this, I will get that up on the screen if you're happy to share it with everybody. If not, I'm just going to talk about, if you've got residual, if you've got live energy in your home. And again, I'm not talking about mediumship that week. I'm not talking about connecting with spirit on that level. I'm talking about ghosts, paranormal. Okay, we're going to have a bit of a fun night, bit of a giggle. Why not? But even looking at bigger things, like I said, we might even talk about ways to communicate with them, and crystals that you can use, or maybe even protect your home. Maybe you don't want anybody there. And also, there's always lots of people that talk about, what should I do? Should I clear it? Should I get rid of them? Should I keep them? So all those kinds of questions, send them to me, askravencooper@gmail.com. Yay! I know, I'm looking forward to it. So don't forget, next Tuesday night, 7:30, we will be looking at ghosts. You got to say it like that, right? Ghosts. You can't just say it normally. And looking forward to it. So have a great night, everybody, or morning. Look after yourselves. Stay warm, stay safe, and remember, enjoy the light. Take care.